So we're at another black sand beach. A stunning location. There's a hot spring just up there, so we'll have to go and check that out tomorrow. But yeah, the beach drops off real quick again, so we've had the anchor reasonably close. We're currently just swung out a little bit from it, but if the wind was to blow us in, we'd be reasonably close to the beach, but it's all good. Anyway, black sand beach again. More lava hills, but it hasn't got the rocks that that last spot had. But yeah, anyway, cool spot. Go and explore tomorrow. Good sunset too, huh? So this little pond or lagoon or whatever you want to call it is why we're here. It's a hot spring. The beach has washed all the sand up, which has sealed it off, so it's not outflowing, but well, it does actually filter through the stone, through the beach itself. There's hot water coming out of the beach onto the water, into the salt water. But anyway, we're going to jump in here, have a bit of a swim. The sulphur and what have you, that's minerals that are in this water, will hopefully be beneficial from a health point of view. So anyway, who knows, you probably have to sit in there all day to have any benefit, but we're going to get in, have a look. But again, a very different place. So this little mini lake is actually a hot spring. Doesn't look terribly inviting. Very green, the water. But it's about 40 degrees. So it's lovely and warm. It's only 7:30 in the morning, so we're getting here before it gets too hot. And it actually feels nice. Another pretty spot with the spring. It smells a lot more like sulphur here. You can see what was a waterfall at some stage. Comes down there. So yeah, pretty rock formations. So in here, I'm going to try the water over there. Well, it's a lot hotter, this one. This is getting close to the 50. I think it's coming out of these, underneath this rock here. Seems to be a flow coming out and heading out that way, out into the ocean. But man, that's hot. Yeah, so it's all coming out of this rock here. You can see the flow. And you can see it dripping off the rocks down here. That's where it's coming from. I suppose these rocks are quite hot too, I'd imagine. Yeah. Wow, that's hot. Whew. Wonderful. So that's it for Ambrym, unfortunately. We've got to get up to Luganville, try and get a dive in, and then head down to the southern islands before we check out to Noumea. So here we are in Port Stanley. Not a terribly interesting place this, there wasn't any beaches or anything. A few locals came past, like this family here, and another family we went mangrove snail hunting and collecting. They take them to the markets and sell them, but that's them. I'll put them on the fire, and when they boil, there's water in there. I break them open, break easy, and then you eat them. Anyway, we're just here in Port Stanley just to really escape from some weather that was coming, and it's a beautiful, calm anchorage. There's heaps of them. Man, they're everywhere.
Yes.
So that's it. We're off to Luganville. Short stay there. The families we met there were really friendly. Both of them invited us into their village. Anyway, we've got a nice, brisk, broad reach to take us to Luganville, so we'll take this opportunity. So this is Ari Island Resort. It's very close to Ari Adventure Sports, where the boat's parked. Anyway, they accepted us for dinner, so we were able to make a dinner reservation. Last time we were here, they declined us, unfortunately, but anyway, it was a lot prettier than I expected. Probably the best place that we've been to in Vanuatu, I'd say, as far as a resort goes. My beautiful wife. In these Pacific Islands, it's just easier calling Fran my wife, although we're not technically married. So anyway, just get in the habit of saying it, I suppose. So no, Mum, we haven't got married. Oh, a gorgeous spot. So diving again with Ari Adventure Sports today. There's the dinghy. Yin Yang's over there. We're not going on the big boat today though. It's only me diving and two guides. But we're going to the engine room, so that's exciting. Going to see the control room. Quite a big dive. Like we're going to stay deep for a long time. So yeah. Last opportunity though. We are going to head to Tanna this afternoon after this dive. It's just a single dive. Unfortunately, it would be nice to have a bit longer here, but anyway, got to get moving. Good opportunity with the weather. So this was cut in the side of the hull to access the engine room. So I think these sea chests had a big pipe going to them, so must be for cooling. So this here is what's called a condenser. It's basically a heat exchanger or a radiator like on a car. It uses salt water to cool the fresh water, which the fresh water runs through the motors. It's got electrical motors, this boat runs on electricity, so it must have some sort of diesel generator creating the electricity. So this here is one of the two big motors that run the ship. It's basically the same sort of motor that you'd find on a washing machine, a stepper motor. So this is an up-close view of the stator and rotor. So remembering this ship is on its side, these walkways are normally vertical, but now they're horizontal. So we're at the bottom motor now, and we're down at about 55 metres deep. So at this sort of depth your brain doesn't work so well and things get a little bit lethargic. So we ended up disturbing some sediment. And I was waving the camera and torch around pretty erratically too. The trainee guide and myself, we actually lost the main guide at this stage, so luckily I got a glimpse of his light, there it is, and knew which way to go. So then we had to sneak through this tiny little gap to get into the control room. And what we're about to see here is the controls that the captain does his movement up the top, and it gets displayed on these things down the bottom. So what we've got here is one of the sides, whether port or starboard, I can't remember, gauges to check everything to do with the motors and whatever produces the electricity. I wouldn't imagine why you need so many gauges. This one's RPM. So I wish I could remember what these things are called, but it's the communication between the captain and the engine room. And this, obviously what it's on at the moment, which is called finished with engines. So that's obviously how it got left when the ship went down. So they obviously stopped the motors once they ran it up on the reef, and they'd finished with the engines. Hard case. So these must be the controls for the other side now. They looked a bit cleaner, so let's get in there and have a look. There we go, found the main guide again. He was outside. So what we're mainly looking at here is all the walkways and the platforms. And you can imagine the heights involved. If you fell off these platforms, it's a long way to the bottom of the ship. So after regrouping outside, the guide, based on how much air we all had left, we were able to swim through the ship to get back up to the surface. It actually works out quite well because you need to go up slowly anyway. And yeah. So anyway, we get to swim through the boat now, almost one end to the other. There were some pretty tight spots we had to go through, and had to try really hard not to create too much sediment for the guy behind us. Made it back up to the bow, and we're inside the anchor locker at the moment. So just going to get out and finish the dive. We were just sitting there doing our decomp stops, and one of the guides pointed this thing out, and it took me ages to realise what it is. And what it is a mantis shrimp. They're look them up if you don't know what they are. But he's built a tunnel under the sand, and this is the entrance to the tunnel. And what he's doing is pulling all the sand around the entrance to the tunnel. The tunnel's about 50 mil in diameter, and he lives down underneath the sand. Anyway, he's pulling in all the sand to kind of close up the entrance a bit, and he sits there and wait. And it's basically a praying mantis, if you like. It's an ambush. So if something comes along, you'll grab him. He just sits there, and you'd never know. If I didn't see or have this pointed out or see him building his nest like this, and you're just swimming along the bottom, you'd never ever see this. So yeah, very good camouflage for him. So he's finished now, and he just sits there and waits, and those two little things sticking up off his head attract the prey, and when the prey comes along, he grabs it. I got a video when I get to Noumea of one of these in an aquarium, and it shows the tunnels and whatever. It's pretty cool. So as you can see here, there's no way you'd ever see him. This mantis has got to be one of the highlights of this dive, actually. Blew my mind. So that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. The hot pools, effectively 40 degrees. She was a bit hot for us, but that's all good. Must have been good for the body and soul. And got to dive in the Coolidge again, so that was pretty cool too. Anyway, in the next one we sail quarter of the way to New Zealand. Effectively, we stay within Vanuatu, but we go from one end to the other, about 52 hours. Alright, hopefully see you in that one.